This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to Inside the Runner Studio. This is your host, Tom, and with me, as always, are Aaron, Michael, and Diana.
Hello.
Hello.
And we are very excited to have our friends, Marie and Tim. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us.
Hi. What's up?
So this is our mini-series where we get to know folks from our running community, our friends, and this is a bit of a rapid fire. We're going to ask you a couple running-related questions, a couple non-running-related questions. But before we get into that, even though I've said your names already, can you tell us who you are and where you're from?
I'm Marie, and I am from Maryland, Howard County, Maryland. Grew up not too far from Tom. Went to College Park. I went to medical school at Maryland, and then I only briefly did 5 years away from Maryland in Chicago for residency, and then I came right back, where I married Tim, who was also from Maryland.
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore County and went to Maryland. My life's not that interesting, but my wife says, so that's cool.
My favorite part about scheduling this was Tom was like, she's on call for the ER. She may be able to record, or she may be doing surgery. I'm like, I guess, if people are bleeding out, you got to do what you got to do.
I do have the phone here just in case. I might just take.
She was already texting. Someone's like, I guess I can. I shouldn't say that.
Someone asked about Tylenol. It's not important. No one's dying. Everyone's fine. We're good.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm boring compared to that.
She does important things. She does very important things, is what we learned very quickly.
And she's known Tom a long time.
That's true. I've known Tom probably for maybe 20 years. Is that about right?
Yeah. Yeah, I am substantially older than my drinking habits would suggest. But, all right, we're going to go ahead and jump into the questions.
Okie dokie.
Diana's got the first one.
I do. So, how long have you guys been running, and what inspired you to start?
So, I've probably been running longer than Tim. Honestly, I really didn't get kind of religious about it until medical school. And then it this just makes me sound like a nerd, but I used to listen to our audio of our lectures as I ran around the city of Baltimore. So I would go to the lecture in the morning and then listen to it for an hour as I ran. And just honestly, Tina is one of our friends, shared with Tom, will attest to this. I really like the thrill of sort of being in dangerous spots. So I used to kind of play Frogger on President Street. I would go across multi-lane streets and just not a crosswalk. Get a little bit of an extra adrenaline jolt while I was learning about the adrenal gland or something.
Oh gosh!
But then I would always get the calm of getting to the water. I would run to Fort McHenry, run around the harbor, that kind of thing. So it was a daily thing. So I got pretty religious about doing it in medical school. I continued in residency, and then I also sort of made a tradition of anytime I traveled anywhere, I would always run every morning, sort of around where we were staying. So places in Europe and South America and stuff.
Yep.
To get a lay of the land and a little tour before anyone woke up. Nobody else does that in other countries, by the way. I feel it's a totally American thing. I was
getting up?
Yeah, getting up
run?
in the morning and putting on your classically American Nike shorts and t-shirt. Italians are not awake and jogging.
Drinking cappuccino.
They're sleeping. Yeah.
I don't even remember. I don't remember because I did that. When I went to Europe, I made it a point to run in every single city I stayed in for that reason. Just to be able to say I ran, and to be able to explore a country or a new place on your feet is really fun. So but I don't know that if I noticed.
For me, I was a fat kid growing up so for most of my life up until, from 7th grade until I was about 24, I was like 280 pounds, 300 pounds, extremely fat, like fat guy in a little coat with no little coat.
Okay.
But so then I lost a bunch of weight. I got, sort of serious about my health, right. Can I tell my story here? Like, hold on. I'm just going to go, and you can take over. So I got serious about losing weight, and I would run on the treadmill, and I started out could only do a half mile, and then walk, and then 3/4 mile, and then I remember I ran my first mile straight, and I think it was probably like 11 minutes or something, and I was like, wow, like that's a huge accomplishment for someone who's been making fat peace for all my life. I prefer like sprinting or distance running has never been great for me, but
Sports.
Right. I think it's a sports. I love to run. I play basketball, but I think when you run, that's like the best way to tell like what kind of shape you're in for whatever reason. Like if I can run 2 miles straight, I know I'm like in pretty good shape, for myself. So I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's a good way to test myself.
Are you a morning, midday, or evening runner? What time of day do you guys like to run?
I mean, I would say if I can work out in the morning, it's great because then you have like the rest of the day. You're like, all right, I've already accomplished my only goal for today. I feel good. But I think my favorite thing to do is run during the day. I love like getting a tan. I don't know. I get tan easily, so I love I know it's tough, but when it's like hot outside, I love running in the heat. I think it's like an extra workout, and I get a tan. So I would say whenever it's sunny out for me.
I don't think it's an extra workout just because
it's definitely an extra workout. If it's hotter, sure it is. Your body burns more calories trying to cool itself.
I feel Michael agrees with that because that's why he always says it's extra work when he runs like that.
I mean, for example, I was outside running today. I ran a mile home from the basketball court, and it was hot today. Yeah. So I know for a fact it was tougher than if it was like 75 and breezy.
It was like 106 degrees.
Michael's going to run tomorrow after work at like 2:00 in the afternoon in the hottest part of the day.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I avoid it. I would rather do morning before it gets too hot or evening. Look, I remember at one point I stayed in D.C. for like a month in the summer, and the only time that I could run was before the sun came up. Because I tried to run after it went down, even like 9:30, 10 p.m., and that place really is a swamp. It was just awful.
I feel like there's going to be a story with this one, but what was the worst day you remember running?
Oh, yeah, so that would probably be when I fell into the pristinely clean Baltimore Inner Harbor on my 4th date with Tim.
Right.
Where we...
Pristinely clean.
It's so funny. Like this is the whole reason why we wanted to have you guys on.
There's little floating sort of trash traps that keep the trash from going into the rest of the harbor. I fell on the wrong side of that.
Where all the trash accumulates. So the worst spot you could fall in is like.
So how did it? How did you actually fall in?
So that's the other thing. So going along with like the thrill-seeking run, I always like running along the edge of the water. Did the same thing in Chicago, same thing in Baltimore. I always like being on the edge. I like looking down. I don't know. I have very few thrills. That's all I've got. So I was
aside from being a surgeon.
That's right. Not whatever. It was right on. There's like a nature center in Harbor East, and it's sort of right in that area. It's like a little inlet where trash is kept. And I was running along the side, and I was actually I also, like a lot of us, I'm addicted to my phone, and my aunt had texted me a picture saying, here's a picture of me meeting Dan Marino. So I looked down at it, and I was going to show Tim, and I wasn't really watching where I was going, and there was some kind of little, like, metal thing screwed into the ground that I didn't notice. I tripped over. I was trying to save my phone, so I kept my arm up, but one of my legs, like, swung over the side. There's no railing. Like, pretty much the entire Inner Harbor has absolutely no protection from idiots falling in. So, like, one leg fell into the side, and at first I thought I could recover, but then it just swung the rest of my weight in a tumble into the depths of the water.
And I remember because I was running with you, like, it was our date, and you were like, let's go running, which I was like, sure, I guess. 'Cause I'm like, not a great runner, but you're going to find that out. And we were doing okay, and she was, like, ahead of me a little bit. And we get close to the water, and she, like, jumps on this little ledge on the water. And I'm thinking, like, all right, and I won't lie, I was high, because it was your fourth date, and why wouldn't you be high for your fourth date? And before you're about to run. And I'm like, wait a second, like, she may think I'm a but I'm not, like, running, like, right on the edge of the water of the disgusting Inner Harbor. And so I was just running normally, like, on this, like, the path. And all of a sudden, I see her, like, trip, stumble, fall down, laying, like, on the edge now. And then she, like, rolls into the edge and falls in. I'm just like, being high, I'm like, what just happened? And then I realized it was actually real. I go over there, and she's like... I remember you, like, put your head up and you're, like, treading water in, like, this disgusting trash. And almost like you were, like, about to, like, shoot it out of your mouth. And, like, you know, I don't know. It was weird. You're, like, swimming in it. I guess what could you do? And then we got some help. It was tough to pull you out because the sides were, like, so covered in slime that it was, like, tough to... It was, like, you know, 6 feet, 5 feet
So
down
you didn't
there,
jump in after her?
I think
there was no
like,
jumping in after her.
I didn't. I thought about it.
I'm a great swimmer, and he could recognize
once I saw she was fine in there, like, treading water, I was like, yeah, let's just get you out of there. No need for both of us to get
How deep was it?
I could. So that's the other thing is I tried to save my phone. Like, I tried to throw it back up to Tim, but because the wall there is so tall, I didn't have great footing, and I ended up just, like, smacking the phone against the wall when I threw it, and then it just fell into the depths of the harbor.
And then we get you out, and we take a picture, and I'm like, I'm never using eHarmony again. And then we got married.
Did it smell in the harbor? Like, when you're in this trash, is it like...
You know, I don't remember it smelling too putrid, but I can tell you that I felt like just a lot of kind of slime on the bottom, like...
Oh, God.
Tickling my toes. Like, there wasn't any, like, healthy feeling vegetation. It was just, like, goo.
So, yeah, I remember distinctly that, I think maybe because you were, like, embarrassed. Obviously, you're on a date and you fell in the harbor. You were, like, trying to act cool, like you were swimming. Like, it's no problem. And I was like, what's going on? Like, let's get you out of there. And then, I think, didn't you get sick for a couple of days afterwards?
I had fever and diarrhea.
Right.
I was sick.
Yeah.
But it was hard to get out, like, because it's this really long ledge. Like, I had to
And
swim.
there's not, like, a ladder,
I was just,
right?
like, trying to look cool.
Yeah, it was not easy to get out.
I had to swim, like, some length to be able to get up to this little... The trash trap is held on by a chain, so I had to shimmy up the chain.
And then a guy and I, people, like, there's, like, many bystanders over, like, watching, right? We both helped you, like...
3 men helped me get out.
Right, because it was not easy to get her out. Not that you're heavy, but it was just, like, difficult.
I was covered in salt.
can't. That may be the worst running story we've heard so far. That might be worse than my chafing story.
Yeah.
Worse than chafing, yeah.
That's like an everyday thing.
Diarrhea and fever is worse than
I was
chafing.
going to say, it's the diarrhea that really does that for that
it's
story.
It's the infection the harbor caused you after falling
Right.
Yeah.
in.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We're going to move into our random questions.
Love it.
We'll start light. What is your favorite breakfast food?
For me, probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Although McDonald's, I was thinking the other day, McDonald's has awesome breakfast, like their sandwiches. Like McDonald's, like, I normally think of like being trash, like a hamburger or whatever. But their breakfast food is like solid, with hash browns too. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch for me, very good.
I like French toast with some kind of cheese stuffing in it, like getting all artsy mascarpone, the stuffing in there and some kind of berries.
That sounds delicious.
Something decadent.
French toast or waffles, or pancakes, the ultimate.
The ultimate breakfast.
I think French toast is also good, but just butter or powdered sugar or syrup or all three.
Oh my God, so good.
Yeah, load 'em up.
Oh, I love this question. What's one thing that everyone loves but you hate?
Fruit.
That's true for him.
I'm like, I know a lot of people have like food phobias, and it's usually like, I don't like pickles or I don't like vinegar. For me, it's like, I don't like fruit, and I know that makes me a weirdo. But I'm honest with people. I'm a weirdo. Like, so I'll eat an orange, I'll eat green grapes, and I'll eat watermelon and a red apple. I won't eat any other fruit. I probably haven't for 20 years. Don't even know what like a peach or cherry tastes like. I just know I'm like afraid of it. And any fruit flavored candy or drink, I'm like freaked out by it. So if you were to like take Gatorade and dump it on me, I'd probably like have a panic attack or try to fight you or both.
I can't think of anything that. What do I?
Music. You don't like music.
That's not true.
You don't hate music, but your favorite band is NPR. I mean,
he thinks that because I listen to like podcasts and stuff. I don't know. I'll think about the question and I'll get back to you.
Or movies. I mean, I don't know. There's
whatever.
Or movies.
The only movie you've ever seen until you met me is Jurassic Park, and now I've got you like, you know. Now you've even seen like
It's
Weekend at
only
Bernie's.
because I'm a girl and he's.
No, girls watch movies. I try to explain that to you. It's not a gender thing.
He thinks that because I like didn't know Total Recall or I hadn't seen it.
You hadn't seen Die Hard.
Those are boy movies.
I don't know.
All right. All right.
All right.
Oh my God.
What is a band that you would be embarrassed to admit that you listen to?
This would be a good one.
I know what
This would be a good one. Say whatever you want to say.
Not that I listen. I know he's just going to make me say that I liked Linda Ronstadt growing up, like the country.
That's not embarrassing.
I mean,
Is Linda Ronstadt embarrassing?
I don't know.
That's the soapbox I've been on recently, is that she was like really hot and no one understands how hot she was.
I mean, she's a great voice.
I don't think Linda Ronstadt's. I was just surprised you were able to name a band that you were a singer.
Yeah.
For me, it's Slipknot though. Sometimes I lift weight to Slipknot, or I've even listened to Puddle of Mud like at the gym, or when I try to put on like a full album, like a different album, since I'm old and listen to like albums or CDs or whatever. A new '90s album or something that I hadn't heard, and I've messed with Puddle of Mud, and I lift to Slipknot. So some of that new metal stuff is probably pretty cringy, but I listen to it.
All right, we have the James Lipton memorial questions. So, what is your favorite word?
I have no idea. I'll be honest. I don't think I have a favorite word.
I'm trying to think of a cool medical word. I don't know.
Maybe yo, because it has so many different uses.
It's very
versatile.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yo is used in about every sentence at the basketball court.
There you go.
Yo, you scamming, yo? It's like multiple times in each sentence.
I learned what scamming was from him. Biliary dyskinesia. I'm just saying a long word. That's medical.
Do you guys have favorite words, or is that like I've never even thought of that before? To be honest.
These are the questions James Lipton used to ask on Inside the Actors Studio.
I'd be curious to know if that's a common thing for people to have a favorite word.
Discombobulated.
Ooh. I don't remember what I said mine was.
Mine's icebox.
I didn't say that, but that is. I've since thought about this since we asked these questions 800,000 times, and that is one of the ones that comes up in my head from time to time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with yo.
People like answer with like coffee.
I was gonna say food. I was like,
chocolate,
food. I'm fat.
or like food. Yeah,
yo.
like a lot of the people do use those.
Oh, yeah. Maria just said hers was food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ankle hurt, yo.
Yeah.
And then, flip side of that, what is your least favorite word?
Anti-vax.
That's a good one.
I'll go with that. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh boy, amen.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'll
this
second
worked
that.
out. I get to ask you guys,
Ooh.
what turns you on?
Humor and athleticism.
Look at that.
Humor and athleticism is also my answer. I don't know, and boobs. I'm more of a boob guy than a butt guy. If that's where.
All right.
Yeah, and humor and athleticism.
Okay. What turns you off?
Humor and
No.
probably ignorance. Although it's also funny sometimes, but People who are, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, probably like a temper. I mean, like, that's a turnoff.
I guess, yeah.
Temper.
I've never curb stomped anyone. I think one of your ex-boyfriends did.
Yeah.
I'll also say phoniness. So
Oh, okay, that's a good
tough
one.
People got to be themselves. I appreciate that.
What sound or noise do you love?
Rain without the thunder.
I like the
Yes.
sound of a fan or any white noise, really. I'm a fan sleeper. I need the fan on me, blowing on me, and the sound of it. Maybe I think I'd
same.
fall asleep pretending I'm in an airplane or something.
Yep.
Yeah, we sleep with a fan.
Yeah.
I get that.
And what sound or noise do you hate?
Alarm clock. Hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Worst sound in the world for me. I hate waking up. You could play it at 8 p.m. any time of day. Hear that noise, and I'm like cringing.
I really hate like pieces of rubber rubbing together. I don't know, for some reason that like makes my skin crawl.
What does that sound like?
I don't like you can just like feel the vibration.
You can feel it. I think that's a touch
like
thing,
I
right?
don't know. I don't like it.
Like when you roll like a rubber band down.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Do you know what I'm talking? It's
That
terrible.
just brings up memories of like hurting my skin, like peeling hair off.
Yeah.
All right, this one actually doesn't have an opposite question. It's just one simple question. What is your favorite curse word?
Are we supposed to
I'm not going to use any Google words.
Say whatever you'd like.
I'm gonna say the F word.
Tim.
F-U-C-K. What? I mean, that's
boring.
There's not that many.
A very popular
from.
one.
I mean,
That is, I will say that
That's
is
the
the
top
most
one.
popular
Yeah,
answer.
sorry.
That is the most popular answer.
Never seen-
And you can
Yeah,
say
I have to
we a
say I've
blooper.
been saying the C word more recently, but to myself. I don't know why.
That's my favorite.
yeah. Crap.
Wow,
You guys are talking about
no
crap.
editing
Yeah.
for Michael.
Yep.
No editing for Michael.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh man, rock star.
Yeah, ballerina.
Be on drugs all day and just like party and then play music like once every 2 weeks or something.
Sounds fantastic.
I'm
doesn't
talking
it?
like Guns N' Roses, late 80s, 90s rock star or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Or
God.
rapper, I guess. I don't know, some sort of music entertainer.
Little Tommy Lee.
Something like that, yeah.
What profession would you not like to attempt?
Anything in politics, it sounds like a nightmare.
Yes.
I used to wash dishes and I at Lido's and I hated it. I would just like my fingers would be all pruny, so I don't want to wash dishes again.
That's
I would
a good
take
one.
that over being a politician.
Yeah, it's either a dishwasher or a U.S. senator. I don't know. It's a toss up for me.
All right, guys. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Ooh.
This is the deep one.
That I was a good person. That's boring. But
That he's forgiving me for all my horrible sins, and I'm somehow going to make it into heaven, even though I never thought I would.
that I wasn't going to make it into heaven until I fell into the harbor as my penance.
Yes, there you go.
There you go. Well, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, this is cool.
Before we let you go, do you have any parting words of wisdom?
Run for fun. Everyone said they hated running. I just like being outside. I mean, I'm slow, but I like being outside. And
I feel like we joke about hating running.
yeah.
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 It's a love-hate relationship, right? Like some days you love it and some days
Yeah.
it's
So
like
it's a lot
tough
like
and hard
marriage.
and it sucks.
That's what I'll say. Running is
Yeah.
a lot like marriage. It's a love-hate thing. And sometimes it makes you sweaty when your wife has it 78 degrees in the house.
I love it. And you guys don't really have like social media to share, right?
No, we don't have any. We don't have any handles to plug.
No,
I'm famous
nothing
in
to
certain
plug.
video games, but we don't need to go into that.
There you go. Yeah.
You're video game famous?
Yeah, sadly, it's not something I brag about, but it's actually embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, we know you guys are so busy, so thanks for making time.
No,
for,
no,
Of
thanks
course.
for
you know,
Yeah,
having
thanks
us.
for having us.
Yeah, for
When
us
do we
to
get
ask
paid?
random questions.
Would-
See, we
Good
told
luck
the
with
last
that.
guest they had to pay us. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't hear you anymore. It's breaking up.
awesome. All right.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye.